The Golden State Warriors are making moves, and this one could change everything. A shocking new report links the Warriors to a $48 million Milwaukee Bucks star, a move that could give Stephen Curry and possibly Jimmy Butler the support they need to chase another championship. If this trade goes down, the entire NBA will be shaken. But is this the right move for the Warriors? Will they sacrifice young talent to win now? And how does this impact their long-term future? With the trade deadline looming, Golden State has a massive decision to make. Stay tuned because this could be one of the biggest trades in Warriors history. Don't blink, Warriors fans, things are heating up fast. Absolutely. Here's a long and engaging script for your YouTube video. Stephen Curry isn't getting any younger, and the Golden State Warriors know that their championship window is closing fast. They've already been linked to big trade rumors, and now, there's a shocking new report that could change everything. The Warriors are eyeing a $48 million star from the Milwaukee Bucks, a move that could give Curry and potentially Jimmy Butler the support they need to compete for another title. If this deal happens, the entire NBA landscape could shift, and the Warriors could become legitimate title contenders once again. But will the front office pull the trigger? And more importantly, is this the right move for Golden State? The Warriors have been at a crossroads ever since they won their last championship. They've struggled with injuries, inconsistencies, and an aging core. While Curry is still playing at an elite level, he can't carry the load alone. Klay Thompson has had his ups and downs, Draymond Green has been dealing with suspensions and injuries, and the younger players, while talented, haven't fully stepped up to fill the gaps. That's why the front office knows they need to make a move, and they need to make it now. The latest report suggests that the Warriors are looking at a Milwaukee Bucks player who could be a perfect fit for their system. This player brings size, defensive versatility, and the ability to stretch the floor, something Golden State desperately needs. The name being floated around? Bobby Portis. Yes, the high-energy forward who has been a key part of Milwaukee's success could be on his way to the Bay Area. But how realistic is this? Portis is currently in the middle of a 4-year, $48 million contract with the Bucks, making him an attractive trade asset. He's a reliable scorer, a solid rebounder, and most importantly, a tough, gritty player who brings intensity every single night. The Warriors have lacked that kind of presence in their frontcourt, and Portis could instantly change that. The Warriors' biggest issue this season has been their lack of interior defense and rebounding. Kevin Looney has done his best, but he's undersized for a full-time center role. Jonathan Kuminga has potential but isn't a traditional big man. Meanwhile, the Warriors' attempts to play small ball have backfired against bigger teams in the West. That's where Portis comes in. His ability to play both power forward and center could give the Warriors a new level of flexibility. But how would this deal work? To acquire Portis, the Warriors would need to send assets back to the Bucks. The most likely scenario involves Golden State offering a package centered around Moses Moody or Gary Payton II, along with draft picks or additional players to make the salaries match. The Bucks might be willing to listen, especially if they feel they need to shake things up and add more perimeter depth. There's another factor at play here: the Warriors' interest in Jimmy Butler. Multiple reports have suggested that Golden State could make a run at Butler if the Miami Heat decide to move in another direction. If the Warriors manage to bring in both Butler and Portis, they would instantly become one of the most dangerous teams in the league. Imagine a lineup with Curry, Thompson, Butler, Green, and Portis. That's a squad that could match up with anyone in the Western Conference. However, there are risks involved. If the Warriors give up too much young talent, they could be mortgaging their future for a short-term push. Portis is a great player, but he's not a superstar. Would he be enough to push the Warriors over the top? And what if this trade doesn't work out? These are the tough questions the front office will have to answer before making a move. One thing is clear: the Warriors can't afford to stand still. The Western Conference is only getting tougher, with teams like the Denver Nuggets, Phoenix Suns, and Minnesota Timberwolves making serious moves. Golden State has to respond, and this trade might be the best way to do it. But let's talk about fit. If the Warriors do land Portis, how would he fit into Steve Kerr's system? The good news is that Portis has experience playing in a fast-paced, ball-movement-heavy offense. He thrived in Milwaukee's system, which emphasized spacing and quick decision-making, two things that are essential in Golden State's offense. Portis can hit mid-range jumpers, stretch out to the three-point line, and crash the boards with energy. He's also a solid defender, capable of switching onto multiple positions, which is crucial in the Warriors' defensive schemes. One of the biggest advantages of adding Portis is that it would take some of the defensive pressure off Draymond Green. At this stage in his career, Green is still an elite defender, but he can't be expected to guard bigger centers every night. With Portis in the mix, Green could focus more on being a playmaker and defensive anchor rather than having to bang with bigger guys in the paint. Now, let's talk about how this impacts Stephen Curry. Curry has been carrying an incredible load this season, and at 36 years old, the Warriors need to do everything they can to make his job easier. Adding Portis would give Curry another reliable scoring option, someone who can set hard screens, roll to the basket, and knock down open shots. The more weapons the Warriors have, the more space Curry gets, and we all know what happens when Curry gets space. But what do the Bucks get out of this? Well, if Milwaukee is looking to tweak their roster and add more perimeter depth, a deal with the Warriors could make sense. Players like Moses Moody, Gary Payton II, or even a veteran like Chris Paul could be useful pieces for a team that still has championship aspirations. The Bucks are built around Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard, so moving Portis could allow them to reshape their roster and get the right mix of players to support their superstars. Golden State has always been strategic with its roster moves, balancing star power with financial flexibility. Adding this $48 million player could elevate their chances of competing with the NBA's elite, but at what cost? Will they have to part ways with key role players or future assets? The decision isn't easy, and the front office knows that one wrong move could disrupt the team's chemistry. But with the Western Conference only getting tougher, can the Warriors afford to play it safe? Or is it time to take a bold step towards securing another championship before Curry's prime years fade away? Golden State has been careful with its roster moves in the past, but this could be the moment they finally push their chips to the center of the table. Time is running out, and every decision from here on out could shape the Warriors' future. So, Warriors fans, what do you think? Should Golden State go after Bobby Portis? Is he the missing piece to help Curry and Butler make a title run? Or should they be aiming for a bigger move instead? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the Golden State Warriors.